Hey, this is Jonesy from Jonesy TV. I'm coming at you with the Geek Cast number 2. Here we have our special guest, Jake. You want to say hi?
Hey.
And so this Geek Cast, we're going to be talking about Preacher and what we like about it. We both watched the show, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm. I watched through the
And
entire season all by
it's
myself.
flipping awesome, isn't it?
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah. So, Jake? What do you like about season 1?
Just the whole concept of a preacher tampering with free will. It's like it juxtaposes the whole thing.
And it's sort of I thought it was like sort of had it a quirky quality about it. Like it was weird, and I like that. You know what I mean? Like it was original. It was the only show like it on television. Like there's no other show on television that weird.
Yeah, and it was a comic series originally, right?
Yeah, and what I've heard is really where the season ends with them going off on the road to try to find God is sort of where the comic series starts. So this is more of like a prequel.
Okay, so the entire first season is just a prequel to the whole series, essentially.
Yeah, basically. But I mean, they had more freedom to do what they wanted with it in a way. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But one of my favorite characters has to be Cassidy. Like.
Oh, obviously.
Every scene with Cassidy is hilarious, and
he's so charming.
He's so funny, and like you remember that time where he got burnt right in front of Jesse, and then they were feeding him, and he ate Miles. Like this is hilarious. It's like that was one of those moments where I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, like you just sort of questioned it a little bit.
What had to be your favorite scene in the series?
Oh. Ooh, that's a tough one. The one where you realize that the cowboy, the whole time you're watching him, he's in hell.
Oh yeah, that
just
was
repeating his worst day over and over. When you finally get that,
yeah, because like the whole season, you're like, "What is going on? Why are they showing you this?" But then you got it at the end. It's like, whoa.
I thought he was going to be some kind of like he was an ancestor of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And you know the thing is, too, that happened right after they said they were going to go find Eugene, so that's what you thought they were going to do, so you didn't expect them to go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, what? That was awesome. My favorite scene had to be the scene where they're the Seraphim's in the hotel and they're trying to kill her, or cut off her arms and legs, and then Cassidy
each other.
Or it wasn't it Jesse that came in, and he shot her in the head, and they had to start over when they had finally got her.
Yeah,
and they started laughing,
and then they were all fighting. Yeah, the two guys were just trying to keep Jesse alive,
and then it had that.
And you watch the whole thing through like a bullet hole.
Yeah, and then you watch the wall shot, and it's like all their bodies are piling up. Like I just thought that was I could not stop laughing, and that's the thing. There's like some twisted humor, but that's my kind of humor. You know what I mean? Like you remember?
It was. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, it was one of the directors, producers, whatever, was Seth Rogen, and I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did when I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit worried. Not that I don't like Seth Rogen, because, like, Sausage Party's hilarious, but it's very weird, too. But I think he sort of imparts sort of, like, his directorial flavor into it.
Yeah, you can taste the Rogen in it.
Yeah, you can taste the Rogen. You remember the scene, one of my other favorite scenes is when the guy's D gets shot off. Oh, and they put it in the little box and send him on his way. You remember when Jesse was defending the church? That was just hilarious. Like, and there are scenes like that where I was just like, what is this show doing? But I love it at the same time.
Yeah. And when there was like the one guy there and he got his, his shut off.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And he just slowly started walking back towards everybody and they were all cheering him on and he's just like, just holding it, just completely calm.
And when Odin held the guts of the cow and the guts of his daughter in his hands, and they both looked very fake.
Was messed up.
That was messed up, but it was sort of funny. And there was other moments too, like when Odin shot all those people who the mayor called in to make the deal with him, where I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, he had the shotgun, and you were like, I was confused there because I was like, wait, I thought he was supposed to be serving God and whatnot.
Not really, I guess.
And I knew he had obviously, like...
Yeah, it obviously hadn't worked. Genesis doesn't work for everybody, I guess, but... I just thought the whole way they went about it... It did.
It worked, but it wasn't, like, the Christian God.
Yeah,
that Jesse was attending.
I think
You know, you have to be specific.
the whole way that he's serving the god of meat. The whole way they went about it, I thought was hilarious too. Like, and the thing is, most people would try to tiptoe around certain things, but then they had like that scene where the guy that angel was acting like he was God, and I mean, like, that was hilarious. Like, I was
I was watching that and I was like, this looks a little Monty Python for my taste. This can't be legit.
When he said you got balls, he's like, you got balls.
I was just like, it's God. What?
Well, of course it didn't.
Again,
it turned out not to be him, but that was just hilarious.
The whole show, I feel like, is about going against what you'd expect.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't expect a preacher to be a former bank robber. You wouldn't expect a vampire to, well, actually, that's probably what you expect.
But
eventually, and, you would expect a vampire to become friends with a preacher.
I thought the side characters were actually pretty well hashed out too. Like, Odin was cool. The Emily, the preacher's like friend who helped him with the shirt. Yeah, and what I'm trying to think. Well, I never really liked. Well, Tulip's not really a side character, but again, Tulip's amazing. Like, Tulip was great. Whenever she made the homemade bazooka,
she made the rocket launcher.
Yeah, that was hilarious. She's like, "This is how you make a bazooka, kids."
Yeah.
And the first scene, I remember the first opening scene with her. Whenever they were going through the cornfield, and she bites off that dude's ear.
Oh yeah. Remember, just like a tornado, don't come up until it stops.
It's quotable. This show's like super.
It's a very quotable show.
Yeah, but like, I love this season, and I thought it was great. But was there anything that you didn't like? I really have very few complaints, but
the Angels, I was kind of like on the fence about them up until the scene when they went to hell and he shot the one of them, and you realize like they don't even let you know until like that last 10 minutes that those two are like together.
Yeah.
Or it's like insinuated throughout the season, but in that episode they directly say, "Oh yeah, they're together."
Yeah.
And you just feel so sorry for the other one. You're like, "Oh my god."
Well, I bet I'll probably come back though. Think about it. All the other times they came back, like, I realized he shot him in the face, but I mean,
like a special gun.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. He may not. But yeah, I like the only thing that I heard a lot of complaints about. People were saying, well, that storyline, all the storylines weren't cohesive to the last like 4 episodes, which I get that, but I also kind of like that because it kept you like, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean?
It made you watch the next episode. Yeah.
So I don't really think that's a valid complaint, honestly.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited for season 2.
Yeah, because they're on the road and they're not really, the show is set around Anvil. But they can go throughout the world and do their stuff.
Did the town blow up?
Yeah, it did. And who do you think survived the explosion?
Didn't they show that Odin survived?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, they didn't show, but I think it was implied that Odin survived.
Yeah. Mayor didn't survive.
I know.
He
didn't survive anyway because Cassie ate him.
That was great.
Yeah, but
Odin, I hated that guy.
Yeah, I hated Miles. I think Odin survived. I think Moore survived, the sheriff or whatever. I bet he survived because he's still got the Eugene storyline.
I was about to say, you can't just cut off that story or that story arc.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the other. I think Emily died. And she her arc sort of ended, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, everyone who was sort of like everyone who learned that God was missing.
Arseface was funny, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was so funny. He was like, apparently in the comics he's a lot less likable, but they tried to make him likable over the show, and I was like, hey, I actually feel sorry for him on occasion.
Yeah. But I couldn't eat when I watched scenes with him in it, though.
Oh, yeah, when he had that shake, the meat shake.
No, I couldn't eat. I tried one time to eat lunch while watching Preacher with Eugene in it, and I just couldn't.
No, I couldn't either. What I'm saying is, like, whenever he had that meat shake, I almost threw up.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh. But, yeah, I get what you mean exactly. But that's the thing. They did such a good job making him look grotesque. And, I really like that. So,
Do you know if that was CGI or prosthetics?
That was prosthetics, which was
Well, how
really
did they make
impressive.
the mouth move like that?
I don't know, man. Well, they probably use CG for the mouth movement. You know how they can do like prosthetics and then still use CGI.
So like a mix of them.
Yeah, like for the mouth movement, they probably use the CG. For the prosthetics, they probably use, you know,
Prosthetics.
Yeah. So, you know, to end on this, what did you like most? Or I mean, not what did you like the most? What are you excited most about for season 2?
Just the journey as a whole, you know. I want to see where they go with it, and the whole hunt for Jesse to get Genesis out of him by the gunslinger guy. Just the whole adventure.
Yeah, it's really like I'm sure the world's gonna broaden, and there's gonna be a lot more enemies and a lot more funny scenes that are possible, and how like they interact with different people is gonna be interesting. Especially, and it's funny because you got a preacher, an ex-preacher with basically a demon angel baby inside him. You have a vampire, and then you have an ex-con, all going around the country looking for God. So it's just like
ex-con, quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote. But it's like an insane premise, and I think that's what makes the show great. So
yeah, just the whole idea of a crazy base to work off of.
So, thanks for coming on, Jake. Check
problem.
out his channel. The link's in the description. Remember to subscribe to him, and subscribe to Jonesy TV for more content. This has been the Geek Cast starring
Jake.
Jake
of all trades.
Yeah, Jake of all trades, and Jonesy from Jonesy TV.